Mama Albertina Nontsikelelo Sisulu, we would devote our every action, our every effort, our every utterance to the realization of their vision, a vision of a democratic, just and equitable society. In our magnificent diversity, and despite our many differences, the people of this country answered to the call of Tumamina. In their multitudes, South Africans asked not what can be done for them, but what they could do for their country. In ways both large and small, both public and private, South Africans of all walks of life set about building a better nation. Many reached out to other South Africans to lend a hand, as Hugh Masekela said, where others were going through difficulties. Others expressed a willingness to support government in its effort to turn our country around. Today, as we reflect on the year that has passed, we can attest to meaningful progress that has been made over the past year. Our people have embraced the renewal our country is going through and are much more hopeful about a better tomorrow. Our people's hope is not baseless. It is grounded on the progress that is being made, progress that they can see is underway on an ongoing basis. Over the last year, we have begun to rebuild a durable social compact for fundamental social and economic transformation with a number of key stakeholders in our country, as we promised. As social partners, we are restoring the bonds of trust, dialogue, and cooperation. We are reaching out to those parts of our society that have become disaffected, that have also become disinterested or marginalized through various forms of dialogue and engagement. Our efforts may have been uneven, and we still have much work to do, but we have demonstrated over the last year our shared determination to work together to confront our common challenges. We have focused our efforts much more on reigniting growth of our economy and creating jobs. We have worked together as government, labor, business, civil society, and various communities to remove the constraints to inclusive growth and to pursue far greater levels of investment. We held a very successful presidential job summit that agreed on far-reaching measures which, when fully implemented, will nearly double the number of jobs being created in our economy each year. Last year, a number of stakeholders raised their concerns about policy uncertainty and inconsistency in our country. We have addressed these concerns and we continue to engage those stakeholders who raise concerns about our policy direction. In response to the dire situation at several of our state-owned enterprises, where mismanagement and corruption had severely undermined their effectiveness, we have taken decisive measures to improve governance. We have taken decisive measures to strengthen leadership and restore stability in strategic entities. We have also had to deal with the effects of state capture on vital public institutions, including our law enforcement agencies, whose integrity and ability to fulfill their mandate had been eroded in recent years. We have therefore acted to stabilize and restore the credibility of institutions such as the National Prosecuting Authority, the South African Revenue Service, the State Security Agency, as well as the South African Police Service. We have appointed a new National Director of Public Prosecutions, Advocate Shamila Batoyi, to lead the revival. She has been charged with leading the revival of the NPA and to strengthen our fight against crime and corruption. You watch this space. We are implementing the recommendations of the new Joint Commission of Inquiry into SARS and are in the process of appointing a new commissioner to head this absolutely important and essential institution. You watch this space. On the basis of the report and recommendations of the high-level review panel on the State Security Agency, which was chaired by former Minister Sidri Mufamadi, I will soon be announcing a number of urgent steps to enable the reconstitution of a professional national intelligence capability for South Africa. And amongst the steps we will take to reconstitute a truly professional national intelligence capability, whose task must be to defend and protect the people of South Africa and not any party political official, the steps that we will take will be the re-establishment of the National Security Council, which will be chaired by the President, in order to ensure better coordination of the intelligence and security-related functions of the state. We will also re-establish the two arms of our intelligence service, one focusing on domestic intelligence and the other one focusing on foreign intelligence. Now, work on the reconfiguration of the state is at an advanced stage. We are pleased to note that in the spirit of active citizenry, many South Africans continue to show great interest in the future configured state. During the course of the past year as the presidency, we have paid particular attention to the issue of violence and abuse perpetrated against women and children in our society. We responded to national concerns and calls by many South Africans by convening a summit on gender-based violence and femicide that has provided a firm basis for a coordinated national response to this crisis. We also convened the first presidential health summit in October last year, which brought together key stakeholders from a wide range of constituencies in the health sector. At this health summit, the participants dissected the crisis in the health system and proposed a number of immediate short-term and medium-term solutions to improve the effectiveness of our health system. We begin this new year encouraged by the progress that we have made, working together in reviving our economy and restoring our country's democratic institutions. We are determined to stay the course. We are undaunted by the considerable difficulties that may come our way and those that we still have to overcome. All of us as South Africans should really face up to the challenges. Mama Albertina Nontsikelelo Sisulu, we would devote our every action, our every effort, our every utterance to the realization of their vision, a vision of a democratic, just and equitable society. In our magnificent diversity, and despite our many differences, the people of this country answered to the call of Tumamina. In their multitudes, South Africans asked not what can be done for them, but what they could do for their country. In ways both large and small, both public and private, South Africans of all walks of life set about building a better nation. Many reached out to other South Africans to lend a hand, as Hugh Masekela said, where others were going through difficulties. Others expressed a willingness to support government in its effort